A lot of the common cigar knowledge out there is just plain wrong, and it's actively hurting your ability to thoroughly enjoy a cigar.
Today, we're busting all the myths that are out there in the cigar world.
First, we're gonna have a little cigar, and a little drink, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. You ready to go?
I am.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, Maz, let's bust some myths.
I'm ready. What do you got for us, boys?
So I don't think dipping your cigar in a spirit makes it taste any better.
You sure? I was just gonna do it.
No, please don't.
But
listen, do what you want. If that's what you like,
of course.
Go at it.
Right, but we don't advocate it.
No, we don't.
There's people that do advocate it. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was just going to say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He started something. I mean, it's funny because for years I didn't hear about people doing that.
I mean, I'll have to be honest. As a rookie, I did it.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, I remember, because you don't know.
Right.
I remember trying it and thinking to myself, this is not good.
No.
I remember dipping.
I'm going to do it now.
No, don't do it.
Let me do it.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's try it.
All right, so what do you think of your little science experiment now that you dipped your cigar in your drink?
It didn't do a damn thing.
Well, to me, Foch, not only do you ruin your cigar, but you kind of ruin your spirit too. Because a lot of times people cut the cigar, it's freshly cut, there might be some shavings at the head of the cigar.
Yeah.
They dip their cigar, the head of their cigar in their drink. You know, it could be, you know, a $50 pour.
Sure.
And all of a sudden now you got tobacco shavings in there, and now your cigar doesn't want to draw properly. It's constructed for a reason, and the humidity levels are kept at a certain level for a reason. You know, there's probably some people out there that are sticklers about their humidity. It's got to be 70%, 70-70, right? But then they go dip it in 100% humidity before they smoke it, right? And the analogy I always love to use when it comes to that is when you go to a fine steakhouse, right? You get a great bottle of wine and you get a great steak. They're both delicious separately.
Yes.
I've never yet seen somebody pick up their ribeye and jam it into a glass of the wine.
No.
Because why would you do that?
Right.
To me, cigars are the same way.
And don't put ketchup on your steak either.
Well, you put ketchup on your steak.
No, I put ketchup on my meatball sandwich.
Well, that's
fried
ridiculous.
meatballs.
That's sacrilege. But yeah.
That's what I like.
Well, put it this way. I'll tell you what. I think you get more leniency putting ketchup on your steak than dipping your cigars in a drink. That's how big of a no-no it is.
All right.
To me,
I see that.
It's a total myth. As you said, you could do what you want. We don't advocate it, and to us, that is a myth.
And it does nothing for your cigars.
No, it hurts them because it really messes with the integrity of the blend because it's going to wet the cigar, which will create a tough draw, and the cigar will sting the palate, and that's just not good. So that's a myth that needed to be busted.
Okay.
Do not dip your cigars in your drink.
Okay. So myth number 2, Maz. The darker the wrapper, the stronger the cigar.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake and a myth that people early on fall prey to. Just because the cigar's darker does not mean it's stronger.
That's correct.
The best way is obviously to ask a tobacconist, person working at the shop, about the blend. Because just shopping and smoking with your eyes can be very deceiving. Because I know for a fact there's a lot of dark cigars out there have a lot of great natural sweetness, and they're perfect for new smokers. And there's some other even like lighter wrapped cigars that will kind of light you up.
Yes.
Right. So darker doesn't necessarily mean stronger.
Correct.
So that's definitely a myth.
Right.
That needed to be busted. Good job, Foch.
What about the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice?
Well, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah. If you, dark cherry, definitely sweeter than Bing cherry.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Matt, so myth number 3. All cigars need to be aged for years.
Yeah, that's not the case for the most part. And obviously it's personal preference. That's what falls into it. But you have to remember, cigars are aged for a very long time at the facility, at the factory.
Right.
So from the time basically the seed's planted into the ground to the time it gets into your hands is average 5 years. I know a lot of people will sit cigars down for at least a year before they even touch them. But also, we talk about it on this channel, cigars age at different paces depending on the blend. So a milder cigar definitely needs less age than a full-bodied cigar. So laying a cigar down for years as a rule, to me, is a myth.
Yes.
So if you want to lay cigars down for 6 months, a year, make sure it's something that will hold up to the aging process and has some strength to it. But other than that, for me, mild cigars are ready to go right out of the box.
Yeah. So when cigars hit the shelves, they're ready to be smoked.
I totally agree. Myth busted.
All right, Mads, here goes a good one. Cuban cigars are the best cigars in the world.
I mean, listen, taste is personal, for sure. The thing is, you have to be true to yourself and true to your palate. And you're not just smoking Cuban cigars because of the label or the mystique that comes with them, the forbidden fruit.
Correct.
So if you like Cuban cigars, no one's going to begrudge you that, for sure. I mean, there's been Cuban cigars I've liked through the years.
Sure.
But just a broad stroke tobacco from one country as the best is really not fair, and honestly, it's a myth. This is a big one. People love talking about this.
Yeah, this one gets a lot of attention.
Well, and the thing is, there's a lot of confusion out there, and everyone has their different opinions. My opinion is that all Plume is basically a start of mold, potential mold.
Okay.
But this is the deciding factor for me. If it has a little fleck of white dust on it, which people will call plume, I'll just brush it away.
Yeah,
I agree. I'll enjoy the cigar. But I think if you let that cigar sit as is and let it continue to grow plume,
Or grow a beard.
it'll grow a beard and a green beard.
Yeah.
It'll grow mold. And as a matter of fact, I talked to Nick Perdomo about this because obviously Nick's an expert.
Yeah.
He's been in the industry for a long time. So we both agreed that if cigars are kept in proper conditions, you really shouldn't get that per se.
Okay.
Now, if you do get that, that's an indication of too high of humidity.
Right.
So in my opinion, the cigar is not, at that point, you're not going to dispose of it if it has some white flecks on it. But if it gets to be green, I've seen some cigars that people give me and they'll tell me, hey, look how plumed they are. And when I tell you the cigar, you can wring it out like it's a washcloth. And they'll be in cellophane and the cello will be all soft. It even changes the texture of the cello. So for me, if there's plume on a cigar, what you consider plume, you don't throw the cigar out, brush a little bit of the white flecks off and enjoy the cigar. But at the end of the day, that's the beginning of something that could be detrimental down the line. That's my opinion. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I probably feel the same way. As long as the flex, it's not spotty. If it's like an even, you know what I mean, even coat on the cigar.
Yeah.
I'll brush it off and I'll smoke it.
Yeah, if it's minimal, and the thing is too, if it's not on the foot of the cigar.
Oh, yeah.
If you see like what looks like plume or mold to you at the bottom, the foot of the cigar, as soon as you combust that cigar, it's going to taste like an old basement. It's going to be very musty, and that's not the way tobacco is supposed to taste.
Right.
So even though there's a big debate out there, there's certain people that go out of their way to get cigars with all this plume. But when you think about it scientifically, right? When you see it a lot, you see it in tube cigars,
right?
Right, and then think about it. Those tube cigars are actually, the moisture's kept in there. So to me, that will breed a little bit of what could be mold. So you see those white flecks. But in my opinion, I'm not wasting this good cigar that's been aged for a long time. So if it's just a little bit of white, it's not on the foot, brush it off and enjoy the cigar. If it goes green, it's mold. But to me, plume is really a form of mold early on.
Okay.
So that myth is really, it's busted in a way for the people that are hardcore. It's not mold. In my opinion, it's the beginning of something that's not good for the cigars. The only way that's true is if your refrigerator has been converted over to a humidor.
Right.
Other than that, it's not, because the refrigerator is meant to take moisture out.
It's low humidity in the refrigerator. I want to say it's like 40% or something.
It's like air conditioning for your food.
Right.
right? It's supposed to keep it fresh. And matter of fact, a lot of people that are kind of like in that school of thought, they're like, oh, I put them in the drawer in the bottom, the crisper. I'm like, the crisper? I was like, you hear what you're saying to yourself?
Is it made for vegetables?
It's made for lettuce, so it doesn't get soggy,
Yeah.
right? So it pulls humidity out.
Correct.
So cigars, I always say, cigars are very comfortable, where we're comfortable, at about 70 degrees.
Yeah.
And a little cooler is good.
Well, I'm comfortable at like 65.
That's fine.
Right.
But what I'm saying, when you put it in a refrigerator, it's much lower temperatures.
Oh, yeah. And low humidity.
A refrigerator is meant to kind of rob the air of moisture.
Correct.
So you don't want to do that. So don't keep your cigars in a refrigerator. And on the opposite end, I know people that keep cigars in their glove compartment of their car because they don't want to bring them into the house. High temperatures are bad as well.
Yep.
So either way, but the refrigerator trick, don't do it. It's a myth. Myth
Busted.
Busted. Well, this one to me is a little complicated because it's open to the personal taste.
Correct.
So I know some, people that I know really well, that I respect them, they will do that. But for me, I just smoke a shorter cigar. We've done videos on it, matter of fact, smaller cigars. We did one recently. To me, when you pick a size of a cigar, it should be suited for the time that you allow or you have to finish in one seating.
Right.
Can you do it? Yes, but I don't advocate it. And to me, once you char that tobacco, you gotta remember, it's all long filler tobacco. So like people think, oh, I'm gonna cut the end of the cigar off. No, the tobacco burns all the way through. And once it's charred, it'll never taste true to form. So you're basically smoking charred tobacco.
Yeah, it's
now,
not gonna taste the same.
It's not gonna taste the same. So for me, can you smoke it the next day?
Yes.
If you do that out there and you enjoy it, go for it. But to me, that's a myth. Smoke a shorter cigar. You'll be definitely better off that way because the blend will be true to form.
Right. So what do you think about most of the cigar flavor comes from the filler tobacco?
Well, I definitely think it's a very hot topic in our industry.
Yeah.
And I think what it happens is people that are very driven by math think to themselves, how could one be greater than 8 or 7, right?
Yeah.
Meaning leaves. But in reality, the best way to show there's two things you can do. You could score the bottom of the cigar, which we've showed in another video, at the foot of the cigar and take a part of the wrapper off and then just expose binder and light it and try it, right? And then when it hits the wrapper, you can see how it influences it. Or even better and easier, is just smoke cigars, a few cigars that have the same fillers, but a different wrapper. Like La Roma de Cuba is a perfect example.
Yeah.
The Connecticut and the original are the same exact cigar on the inside, yet the wrappers are different. Those two experiences are night and day. The wrapper influences it, and plus the wrapper is what sits on your palate. So when you're putting a cigar in your mouth, the wrapper sits there, and there's taste buds on our tongue. So even though the filler and binder are extremely important parts of the equation, they don't outweigh the wrapper, even though it's one leaf. So to me, the wrapper makes the majority of the flavor. And I'll die on that hill. I'll die on that hill.
All right.
So, myth busted.
Tasting notes are bull.
Yeah, I mean, tasting notes to me personally is not
Correct.
because I know what I'm tasting, and when we talk about cigars and we try to describe what we're tasting, there's a lot of different notes in different cigars. And it's general and it's broad sometimes, and sometimes it's very precise, succinct. But when you think about it, like in anything you really consume and you enjoy, spirits, there's tasting notes in that spirit. Wine, right? Beer.
You're gonna taste something.
Well, the thing is, it'll have distinctive notes that remind you of something else.
Right.
So when you're trying to relay, in our world, what tasting notes mean to us, we're trying to relay to people an experience that will get them there. Like, in other words, people to give them an idea what it tastes like. And put it this way, I know on the channel we talk about tasting notes, you and I, and we've been smoking a long time, and also I think that's a big factor.
Sure.
If you've been smoking for a short period of time, you might not be able to pull tasting notes out. But when you've smoked for a long time, you will be able to gather them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it comes to you when you're not even looking for it.
Sure. I mean, there's some notes that I get that I'm like, what does this taste?
Yeah.
And eventually, either, if I'm smoking with you or doing these, reviews, sometimes you'll be like, well, is it this? And I'm like, yeah, that's it. So you will definitely get some notes.
Yeah. But I don't think tasting notes are bull. And I know people get upset with us. They're like, no, it just tastes like tobacco. But that's a big broad stroke. In that layer of flavor notes in tobacco, there's definitely subsets that equal chocolate, coffee, nuttiness, pepper, leather. There's all these notes, and if you can find them, great. If you can't find them, that's fine too. As long as you enjoy the cigar, that's all that matters. So we're not judging.
No.
But I'm just telling you, tasting notes are not bull. That's a myth. Yeah, and this one kind of drives me a little crazy because every time we shoot a video inside a humidor and I'm smoking, whether it's the Ash Cigar Bar or one of our humidors, people say, don't smoke in humidors. And I always say, why? You just shouldn't. Like there's no explanation, you just shouldn't. And the thing I will say is, if it's a very small humidor, maybe a personal humidor at home, a little walk-in, okay, that's fine. Ventilation's a factor. But in reality, like, and I'm not bragging here, we've been in the industry, meaning the Holts, for over 125 years. And we smoke in our humidor. I've never had one person, not a single person, come back to me and say, I want to return the cigar because it tastes like, smoke. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, and I've actually, I leaned on Nick Perdomo for this answer as well. I asked Nick, how do you feel about it? And he said, well, it's funny, people never really gave him a concrete answer, just like me. He said, retailers, and by the way, if you're a retailer that restricts smoking from your humidor, that is totally up to you. We're not judging you for this. I'm just saying I don't agree with it, but that's fine. I love the world of cigars, and I respect other retailers, so I don't want to tell you you're wrong. I'm just saying that also is tobacco has been exposed in premium cigars at every level to cigar smoke at some point. Like I've never entered a cigar factory where it says no smoking allowed.
Right.
And also, it comes down to like what you personally want for your establishment. But I've never had anyone return a cigar because of it. So for me, we will continue to smoke in our humidor. We have no issues with it. If you're a stickler for it, if you could explain to me why it shouldn't happen and give me a real concrete answer, I'm open to conversation. Yeah. But in reality, I've never had anyone tell me why it'll affect it in a negative way. Yes. And it's worth not doing.
Smoking in humidors does not affect cigars in any way.
Well, the thing is, smoke goes up and it dissipates. It doesn't go up and out to the cigars. It goes up and it dissipates. So for that factor alone, you look, if you're a physics major, right?
Yeah, I never understood it.
Right, but it's one of those things that is a hot topic. And I think a lot of times it's like retailers that just don't want people smoking there because they don't want to maybe deal with the smoke. I have no idea where it stemmed from, but I have to be honest with you, I've never had a problem with it. Even when we had our own shop, I had my own shop, and you worked with me, we smoked in the humidor, and we never had one person come back and complain about secondary smoke on a cigar.
Correct.
Ever. So to me, that's a huge myth that needed to be busted.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Thank you.
This one drives me crazy as well. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to pose this question to you out there. If you are an advocate of that rule, do you take the label off all your clothing so you don't wear any kind of clothing like a Nike swoosh?
Perfect.
Right? No, you don't go out of your way to remove it. You wear it, right?
Yep.
And the thing is, people say, and their explanation to me is bullshit.
That's a great explanation that you just gave, though.
Well, how about like if I'm drinking some spirits and I rip the label off because I don't want to show you up? To me, it's total bullshit, and it's an excuse for people. And so one person started that. To me, that was like maybe an internet thing. Oh, you don't want to show up the person next to you. This is the biggest conversation opener.
Sure.
Like, what are you smoking? If I could see what you're smoking and look over and be like, oh, my father, the judge, I love that cigar. That's part of our culture. Ripping the band off, especially prior to lighting.
Yeah.
First of all,
it also could damage the cigar if you do that.
100%.
Which you don't want to do.
Right, and the thing is, there's no plausible reason.
No, just leave it on.
Just leave the band on, and to a point. Listen, if the cigar's so good that you're going to smoke beyond the band,
which I do.
We all do at times when the cigar's great. Yeah. All you have to do is wait for the cigar to heat up and take the band off. But if you're going to give me your best reasoning is you don't want to show up the other person in the lounge, to me that's bull. It's just total bull.
Yep.
Right?
Good call.
I told you I was heated about that.
I know you are.
I hear too much.
You got a little red in the ears.
I did?
Yeah.
I got to put some ice on it.
I know, you got a little worked up.
I did.
Well, there's no ice in that glass.
Oh,
so just drink it.
And you don't think it's the bourbon that's making my ears red?
No, it was that that question.
I held my breath a lot.
Oh,
I
you
got to
did?
work on my breath.
All right.
When I
You
get
breathing?
upset, yeah, I got to work on my. I got to do a box breathing.
Got to do the woosah.
The woosah?
Yeah.
What's that?
You saw the movie.
What movie?
Bad Boys.
Oh God.
Woosah.
Yeah, I thought it was a blast from the past. You're right. All right, we got sidetracked. Sorry. Next myth. It is not the perfect place to talk. First of all, in public, as a rule,
politics. Why'd you do it? It doesn't accomplish anything.
no. I mean, it causes friction.
Yeah.
Right. You're ruining, and not only you're ruining the person's experience that you're debating, the people that have to hear it, it ruins that experience.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that is not the time and place for it. I mean, in my opinion, there's really not many time and places for
No,
that.
you're not going to change anybody's opinion. So just
No, and people just get upset.
Don't say anything.
And it really ruins the vibe in a room.
Yeah.
So, as a rule, if you've never been to a cigar lounge or you're new to going to cigar lounges, there's certain topics you want to avoid, right?
Correct.
So, religion, and politics, right? It's like they call it Irish bar rules. You go to an Irish bar, you don't talk religion, and you don't talk politics. It always ends bad.
Sure.
Right?
Nothing good comes of it.
And honestly, at the end of the day, you might think you're convincing the other person of your point. They're going to think what they want to think anyway.
Yep.
And you're going to ruin everyone's experience. So keep that aside. Keep it for yourself, inner monologue, right? Or maybe to your significant other. Other than that, keep it away from everybody.
There's no such thing as a bad cigar.
Well, it depends how much you love cigars. Like for me, I love cigars. I love pizza. So to me, there's no such thing as a bad pizza. Some are better than others, right?
Okay.
And it's all personal taste.
Yeah.
Have I had cigars to me that are less desirable over the years? That for me, it's not like doesn't hit me right. Of course I have, but I definitely think it's about personal taste, and it's very polarizing. You know, even when we talk about cigars on this channel, people say, "Oh, that cigar was not for me," blah blah blah, and they'll basically like disparage like our opinion or other subscribers' opinions about cigars. And then reality is, it's definitely personal taste.
Right.
So I just think that if you love cigars, some are better than others. As far as like bad cigars, when a cigar is bad, two things matter. Construction, if it's bad, it's bad. And if the tobacco isn't properly fermented and really well done, then yeah, it's a bad cigar. Over the years, most of the cigars I've had have been good cigars, just some are better than others. How about you? I mean, do you feel the same way about that?
I mean, I do feel the same way, but there were some instances where I didn't like the cigar.
Well, that's personal taste.
Right, exactly. So I didn't finish it, but I agree with you.
No, I think we've all been there. They've been there, right? For sure. But it really comes down to personal taste. But if you ferment tobacco properly and it's constructed well, then at that point the playing field's even.
Sure.
Then it comes down to personal taste. So that's for me. That's how it goes.
I agree.
I just like some more than others. But if those two factors are in play, construction and fermentation, you're good.
Okay. Cigars are for stuffy old men.
That is not the case at all. As a matter of fact, this new generation of cigar smokers are more informed than any generation of cigar smokers.
Yep.
And they enjoy it because they are like, kind of like we are, and we've been in the industry for a long time. They're like nerdy about it,
Right.
which I love. When I encounter new young smokers, 28, 25 years old, they are so in tune with the market because social media changed the landscape for our industry.
Yeah.
So they want to try the new product. They want to talk about tasting notes. They want to try different blends. If you remember, like years ago when we first got in the industry, people were very brand loyal. They just smoked this, that, or this. The new generation of cigar smokers are much more engaging for new options, and I don't think that's
Well,
true.
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Do I look like a stuffy old man?
No, right now you don't. You look
Thank
pretty
you.
handsome.
All
You
right.
do. You do. Yeah. I mean, well, I'm not going to ask you. But no, I definitely think we kid around, we talk about that because that's like a misconception. It's a myth out there. Listen, is there older people that enjoy cigars? 100%. But I don't think there's anything stuffy about, put it this way, if you talk to someone who's 75 and has been smoking for obviously a very long time, and you talk to somebody 25, they could sit down and have a conversation about the common denominator is the beauty of cigars, right? So to me, it's not for stuffy old people. And I think there's cigars that fit any budget and any lifestyle. And I always say, like, our audience comes from all different walks of life, which makes our industry unique and beautiful. Because to me, it's the great equalizer. So no, I disagree with that adamantly. To me, cigars are not just for stuffy old men. There's a lot of young people that thoroughly enjoy it. There's older people that enjoy it. It's all encompassing, right? So Foch, hopefully we busted a lot of myths today.
I think we did.
And you know what? If you don't have to agree with us, we're not asking you to.
Right.
But if you give us some feedback, let us know what you feel about any of the myths that we bust, then let us know. Drop us a comment.
Yep.
But I want to thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. But before we depart, make sure you hit that like button.
Smash the subscribe button.
And we'll see you here next time. Good job, brother.
Salute.
Mythbusters.
Yes.
I need my beret. That was a good show, by the way.
What?
Remember that? Mythbusters?
Yeah.
It was good.